There's one thing I wanted to ask is that do you think that the term Christian actually goes back to the imperial cult? Because remember, Caesar, the deified Caesar, Julius Caesar, was viewed as Christ. He was viewed as Savior. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could be, but there would be more sort of language kind of complexity because the term Christ as it appears in the gospel is definitely reflecting the lineage of David, King David, right? It's trying to use the Jewish terms. Um, so then as you translate, this into Greek, you come up with, with Christ. And so you can certainly, particularly in hindsight, see that the term used in the Gospels, relating to, Savior and things, it is also completely logical to see the language being applied to Caesar. And frankly, I would argue that the real kind of way to understand the Gospels and early Christianity is to see it as another version of the imperial cult. If you look at the letters that Paul is sending out, he's sending them out to where the imperial cult had headquarters,
exactly,
and
exactly.
so you can see that there is this connection between the imperial cult and Christianity, which is of course completely clarified by just the analysis I do in Caesar's Messiah, where I say, look, um, the character that Jesus is envisioning, who's going to come in 40 years and level Jerusalem and the temple, this has got to be Titus Flavius, irrespective of the prefiguration typology I show that exists. It's just historically, it's the only person who came in 40 years and did exactly this. So it's got to be Titus. So
Yes.
therefore, the Gospels are not in any way contradictory to the imperial cult because they are simply applying a Jewish messianic term, the Son of Man, to the Roman Caesar. In fact, I mean,
Hmm.
once you get your head right about the religion and the imperial cult, everything is just completely clarified. There isn't really a lot of confusion, or
Hmm.
you don't need Caesar's Messiah to understand to recognize this. You just need kind of a clear-minded understanding of the events of history of this era, and you can see, hey, the imperial cult had a version of it that was basically Judaized and used as its, kind of method of demonstrating divinity of the Caesar. All of these, text prophecies from the Jewish religion. But this would have been just normal behavior. I mean, they've got a whole story about Vespasian taking on the role of Seraphis, right? He
Hmm.
becomes basically the manifestation of this god, and he
Hmm.
walks out into the public and he does miracles,
Hmm.
thinking that he's Seraphis. I mean, what's the difference between that really and the imperial cult then producing, the Son of Man that Jesus predicts? They just absorbed the religion of the areas that they conquered because it made crowd control easier. It's really
Yes.
not hard to understand.